What's up, Quentin? Quentin! We are live. How you guys doing tonight? Hey, Stafford. How you doing, Dave? Hey, Will. Right? Did everybody sleep over? That's right, Quentin. We'll go ahead and start off with copyright. How's that? Hey, yeah, I checked out your video, Dave. You did a good job on that, brother. Sounded good. Thanks, dude. Oh, here you go. This one will take you guys back. I haven't played it in a hot minute, so bear with me. Thanks, Will. Uh-oh. You got blocked trying to upload some AC/DC, Dave? Oh, man. Oh, man. I can't believe you got the Godsmack one uploaded. Hey, it's Scott, man. How you doing, man? I figured you'd be like sawing logs, brother. I got 2 last night, guys. I got 2 claims. They claimed Living After Midnight, and what was the other one they claimed? I don't remember. I've had a... Cheers. I think Quentin's got the record. I got 2 last night. Only 2. Oh, it was Talk Dirty to Me. Talk Dirty to Me and Living After Midnight. Those were the 2 that they claimed. Hey, Mitch. I started checking out your video there while I was kind of watching Robert Robert Baker. I'll check you out a little bit later. Yeah, dude. For real. That Dave, yeah. Nope, enough. Okay, all right, Mitch, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out after when you get it back up. Yeah, I do too. There we go. There it is. No, Landon, most of the time what they'll do is when you get a claim, you'll get a notice on your video and it says you can leave the video up, and what they'll do is they'll monetize that video. So they'll put ads on the company will put ads on the video, and you don't get any money from it, or you would share the money if your channel's monetized. I'm not monetized, so I don't care. Let them stick ads up on my stuff. Take all the money. I don't care. Really dreading this trip tomorrow. Hey Scott, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. Have a good night, man. Sleep well. That's right. I've got to go to Arizona tomorrow. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I like the bird, man. It's got that sound, man. The neck pickup on it sounds really good too. You know, it's. I mean, when I see a Firebird landing, you know, I always, yeah, that's right, Will. The mini hums are the absolute key to it. They are landing in the current, I should say, in the current Les Paul Deluxe. Don't remember what year it was that they switched these. They started putting the ceramic. So these are ceramic magnets in these mini hums. And I don't remember what year it was. I think it was when they first reissued them. They started making the ceramic magnets. They're a little bright, but they're. I mean, I like them. I like them good enough. Yeah, Dave. They do have a good vintage sound to them. They're a lot more output than the actual vintage ones were. Obviously, I think these are right around 13K on the output, where the vintage mini hums were like, I don't know, 7.5, something like that. Thanks, Landon. If I didn't say hey to Gussie, hey Gussie, sorry. If I skipped you, man, I don't remember. I'm about a glass of bourbon in tonight, so I'm doing good to remember my name. I'm not that much of a lightweight. All right, enough of the bird. Yeah, they really do, Will. This is for you, Dave. Where's the cord? This is for you, Dave. All right, Quentin. Thanks for coming to hang out for a few minutes, man. Appreciate you stopping by, and take care. Have a good night. Good to see you again, man. Quentin! Yeah. Here's mine, man. There you go. The old 74. It's a freaking boat anchor, Dave. What's yours clocking? Thanks, Gussie. What's yours clocking at, Dave? Weight-wise, that is. Mine's about 11.5 pounds. It's kind of super tank. Not as bad as some of the 70s, but 11.5, about the same as mine then. Okay. Yeah, Gussie, you know. What year is yours, Gussie? '76, yeah. Is yours still a pancake body? Because they stopped that sometime in '76. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Dave. They will. Hey, do yourself a favor. Get one of these. It's the Gibson Slingshot strap. Best strap ever for these heavy guitars. It makes them a lot more palatable. There's a I don't know if you can see it. It's an elastic strap that comes through there. They're not cheap. I mean, they're about $80, but dude, it'll save your back. And it doesn't take up all the weight, but man, it does help take up some. Yeah, Will. Yeah. Something like that. I don't necessarily look at it as an investment, but you know, this was one of my dream guitars, man. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's gonna stay in the family. You know, when I'm gone, it'll go to my son, if he wants it still. Not really, Landon. I mean, I guess there is a little bit of a story. So, obviously, the first real guitar I ever played was a 1968 custom, Les Paul custom, just like this. And, yeah, it really is, Dave. It absolutely is worth every penny. And, you know, back in 1987, you know, the guy I was learning guitar from, it was his guitar, and I said that's what I want. I want a Les Paul custom like that, and his was, like I said, it was just like this. And fast forward, 30 years, so 2016, 2017, the wife asked me she asked me if I wanted it for my birthday. And I said, well, yeah, duh. Yeah, I wanted this for like 30 years. Yeah. She's like, all right, find the right one. I said, are you serious? She said, yeah, I'm serious. Find you the right one. Find the right one. It's got to be the right one. So I looked for several months and yes, that does make sense, Gussie. Yeah, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So yeah, anyway, that's how I ended up with it. I poured over reverb and I sent a bunch of offers out, and people were asking way too much, and the guy I got this from just, we kind of met in a happy place and called it a day. Oh, gotcha, Will. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Gussie. So yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a Kalamazoo too. Um, yeah. You actually have a maple cap. This one, well, oddly enough, this one does too. You can somebody so generously and lovingly sanded off the finish in the cavity, so you can see the cap. And this one's actually a or mahogany neck, not a maple. So it's a little bit of an oddity, because 74 was the last year they did mahogany necks. They started doing maple necks later 74. So I'm trying to think of some stuff I haven't played for you guys, but yeah. Sloppy, man. I'm playing bad tonight. Yeah, my playing's really suffering tonight. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. My playing's really bad. Oh man, this is gonna be a train wreck. Like I said, this is gonna be a train wreck. It's a train wreck. Sorry, I'll stop while I'm ahead. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, Dave. That's not what it was, but that's what it was supposed to be. I gotta sit and play that one for a couple hours to get my picking right on it. Yeah, it is a good song, Dave. Love that song. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Oh, there goes the dryer. I didn't really come around to Maiden until just, I don't know, 5 years ago. I mean, I knew some, or heard it, listened to it a little bit when I was a kid, way back in the 80s. But didn't really come around to it until about 5 years ago, and then started really listening to it and listening to Murray and what's his name, Adrian Smith. Started really listening to what those guys were doing. That's some impressive stuff. That's some really impressive stuff. I caught a little bit of the live show tonight, Will. That's a good one too, Landon. Evidently the Wi-Fi there was not not exactly up to par. Gosh, man, I don't know what to play for you guys tonight. Yeah, exactly, Will. Yeah, he was playing the Firebird. That's right, Dave. Yeah. I don't know that I know any mountain. I'm trying to think. Oh, I got one. It's gonna be another train wreck. I guarantee you. Let's take that delay off. We need more of the plexi sound. I lost it. Yeah, I was the same way in high school. Yeah, flirting with disaster. It's what it was supposed to be. Yeah, I was the same way in high school, Dave. My mom wouldn't let me have a maiden shirt. We must be right around the same age, Dave. I'm a little bit older than you, Dave. So I'll be 44 in June. I will. How's that sounding to you guys? That's the LPD 87, and that's on the green channel. Thanks. Yeah, that's the Laney, Dave. The IRT. IRT Studio. And of course the pedal board. Bah. Where do I want to go with this? Nope. It goes. Come on. Well, my name is on a piece of plastic film, and I've been growing funny flowers outside of my little windowsill. Don't you know I'm a 2000 man, and my kids, they just don't understand yet. Sorry, got a little carried away there. Oh, dude. I hear you, Will. I hear you, man. I'm right there with you, brother. I've learned more since I discovered YouTube than I learned. Well, I learned quite a bit early on, but yeah, no, I'm right there with you, dude. Bottoms up. That's good bourbon. Oh, there you go, Will. Or Gussie. Fresh pot of dark. Man, talking's hard. Words are hard. English. Pot of dark roast. And burritos. Ooh. You speaking my language, Gussie. Exactly, English. Ooh, Jaeger. Ooh. That's like shirt taking off liquor there. Last time, dude. Last time we were doing. What are those things called? Where you Jägermeister and Red Bull. What do they call those? Anyway, last time get means vomit in German. Dude, that's great. Gussie. You guys are killing me tonight. Anyway, last time we were doing Jaeger bombs. That's what they're called, Jaeger bombs. Oh man, we ended up walking back to a friend of mine's house. It's like, I don't know, about a mile to his house from the bar. It did not go well. That's been years ago. It was summertime, man. I caught cabs to get to my backyard. No, it was summertime, and it was me and my wife and my buddy and his wife, and they had a big house, and so we just decided we were just gonna walk back to their house and crash there. Yeah, it didn't end well. It was a lot of fun though. let's see. I don't know what to play tonight. I'm just drawing a blank. I guess I can recycle some stuff. Yes, I did say bourbon. Which one was it tonight? I don't remember. I'm usually a Maker's guy when it comes to bourbon. Maker's 46. That's my that's my bourbon of choice. I will. You a bourbon guy? Bourbon and Scotch are my two biggest vices when it comes to booze. I like good rye whiskey too. Something about a good rye whiskey. And I'm an Isla Scotch man. Love my Isla Scotches. Ardbeg, Talisker. Yeah. Gussie. Have you tried Bellhaven, Dave? Yeah, I don't, dude. I don't. Dude, you need to try Belhaven. It's a Scottish ale. It's good. If you can find it, try it. It's called Belhaven. It's one word, Belhaven. If you can find it, give it a shot, man. It's really good stuff. Yeah, I don't, Gussie. I'm not one of those. I can't handle the hangovers either. But cool, man. I think you'll like if you like Scottish ale, you'll like Belhaven. You like the stouts, Gussie. Cool. I'm not a big stout guy. I'm not even really a big beer guy. I'm more of a, like I said, I like my scotches and I like my bourbons and of course a good rye whiskey. That oh, you can't see it. If any of you guys like what rye whiskey, best rye whiskey I've ever had it's called Pikeville. Or Pikesville. Oh. That stuff right there. That's good rye whiskey, boys. That's the good stuff right there. Yes, sir, it's empty. Yes, sir. That bottle didn't last long, let me tell you. Like I said, I don't drink very often, but that's good stuff right there. Well, Landon, you'll be proud. That's what I'm drinking now. Even though I want another glass of bourbon, that's what I'm drinking now. There you go. Figured we'd get out the BFG. I hear you, Dave. I hear you. I only try to drink once a week. It don't always work out. Hey, R2. How you doing, buddy? You're burning the midnight oil tonight, brother. Yes, it is Saturday. Well, it is absolutely Saturday. Yes, bourbon time. this is the BFG. It barely finished. Is actually what it actually stands for. So you can see it's textured, right? So they just kind of, when they see the top, they just leave it. They don't sand it flat like they would on, you know, another Les Paul, or, you know, the higher end Les Pauls. And then they kind of just knock the ridges down, and then go shoot it with black nitro and call it a day. I think they're kind of cool, man. Yeah, you can feel the ridges and everything in it. I'll get it closer. See if you can see. I'll try and turn it in the light where you can see the texture. There you go. You can kind of see the texture in it. Yeah, it's kind of like snakeskin, Landon. I mean, kind of the way it looks. Hey, how's it going, Rock and Roll Guitar Lounge? You doing all right tonight? Yeah, R2, man, I kind of dig it. I mean, they were on sale for $650. Yeah, Mitch. No, but it's mine. I actually like it. I know this is like superficial and shallow and whatnot, but the carve on these is really an excellent carve, because it has almost like a 53 carve on it, where it comes way down and comes up on the edge. Yeah, the price, man, you couldn't beat the price on that. No dot. It do have side dots, but no face dots. Thanks, Dave. All right, I'll spare you guys. I'll spare you guys the Pink Floyd. I know not everybody's a fan. Thanks, Rock and Roll. Appreciate it, man. I think most everybody in here's heard that one at least like 4 times. Maybe not tonight, but they're probably getting tired of hearing me play it. I'll agree. I mean, I obviously I'm, a big Floyd fan, which is funny because I own, 25% of the guitars I own are Gibson, and more than that are like Gibsons. Thanks, Mitch. haven't, Will. Small Stone. Is that who makes that one? Is that EHX? Searching the memory. But no, I have not used the Small Stone. That's what I thought. Yeah. EHX is Small Stone. No, Will. Is that their phaser? I'm trying to remember. There's so many freaking pedals out on the market. I barely remember what I have on my board, and it's sitting right in front of me. Okay. What amp are you looking at, Dave? Houston Kettner Mark III. I personally don't have any experience with the H and K. Hey James, how you doing tonight, man? Hope you're doing well. Or whatever time of the day it is for you. Yes, his black his black is a custom. Good, man. Glad to hear it, James. It's just like that one. Yeah, H&K are great amps. I personally don't have any experience with them. I'd kill to have a DR103 Landon. A 70s DR103 and a Fane loaded cabinet. Oh, that just makes me wet. Yeah, Rock and Roll Lounge. His is a 99. This one right here is a 74. I still like Dave's though. It looks a little bit better than mine. Yeah. It's probably worth a little more than I got it for a couple years ago when I got it, but not that much. It's not as much as people think. If I sold it and wanted to sell it, Dave, I'd probably get $3,500 for it. Be about it. I believe his was a 70, Landon, but his was pretty beat. The one he had was pretty beat. Yeah, that wasn't a bad price back then, Dave. Yeah, yeah, it was absolutely a player grade 70 for sure, Gussie. Um, for a player grade, you know, a broken headstock, as long as it look, guys, as long as it's repaired correctly, I don't got no problem with it. Again, if it's player grade and I'm paying player grade money for it, and in my opinion, player grade money on something like that is, 2 grand all day long. You know, because thing is you can turn around and get that right back out of it. Now, see, Gussie, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I could get more than about 3,500 for it because the neck has been refinished. The back of the neck has been refinished. I can't see any real evidence of a break or a repaired headstock, but the back of the neck has been refinished. So I have to, if I turn around and have to sell it, I have to sell it as a possible repaired headstock. I don't have the luxury of saying, "Oh, look, it's absolutely perfect." Yeah, I agree with you, Landon. Street price on what? 74 custom rock and roll. Yeah, but I mean 3,500. Obviously, okay. So it's going to depend on condition, right? You got a lot of factors here. You've got, you know, how many times has it been drilled for other tuners? Uh, are the original T top pickups in it? Is it still original frets? What kind of condition are the frets in? What kind of condition is the paint in? You know, you've got all these things that you have to consider. When you're dealing with a vintage instrument. Are the pots original? Are the caps original? Blah 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 blah. I mean, and people get way hung up on this stuff. And me, it's just like, okay, it looks good, it plays good, sounds good. Oh, it has the right pickups. We got a bonus there. I'm good. Uh, Actually, Gussie, a refin is a huge deal. Um, and I'll tell you, yeah, it actually is a pretty big because it's all along the back of the neck. Um, they say 30 years, Dave. 30 years is what's considered vintage for a guitar. There is a caveat to that, Will, and it's how well the refret was done. Um, yeah, you're welcome, Dave. You get somebody that does a really crappy refret, and it'll trash the entire value of the guitar. You get some idiot that goes in and tries to slam frets in and don't undercut the tangs, and you end up with a mess. You end up with the binding, broken binding on it, and the binding starts chipping away, and you got a mess on your hands. So yeah, you got to be careful when you're dealing with refrets. But if they're done properly, you're absolutely correct. They should not lose much, if any, value. But it really, really depends on how well the refret was done. Yeah. Yeah, see, and refins, you know, you talk about refins, and really and truthfully, a refin, yeah, I have Gussie. Um, that's how I know the back of the neck was refinished, and it was. So, I'll show you. It's from about here to about here that's been refinished, that's been resprayed. So that's why I say I don't know if it's a neck repair or not. If it is, whoever did the neck repair did a fantastic freaking job on it. So, if I ever went to sell it, I would have to sell it as a possibly repaired neck, because this area of the neck from about here down to about here, light or doesn't glow at all. I mean, you look on the face of the headstock under black light, and a lot of times what you'll see when on a repaired headstock, on the face, you'll see like right across the truss rod, because that's usually where it breaks, right? Because that's where your weakest point is. But usually you'll see in the lacquer, you'll see the lines, crack lines in the lacquer, and you don't see that on that. So that's why I say it's really hard to tell if it's a neck repair, and if it was a neck repair, they did a just a bang up good job on it. So yeah, that's right, Landon. As long as the headstock don't come flying off at me, we're good. Yeah, that's why I say, you know, I could turn around and sell it for like $3,500 all day long, you know, if I wanted to just get rid of it. But I'm not gonna. I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon. I could possibly try to visit Phil. I don't know how well that would go, though. So, you guys want to have a little bit of fun? So we'll play a little bit with the amp itself. Dude, they're fine. I don't have an issue with them. You know, well, I guess you saw me pick it up out of the rack. I hadn't tuned it tonight, and I had to adjust it just a little bit. So, I mean, I don't have an issue with the tuners. People are getting too hung up on tuners these days. Everybody wants lock-in tuners, and everybody thinks locking tuners are the savior and the end all be all of everything, but they're not. I mean, they just make string changes. They just make string changes more convenient. But yeah, exactly, Landon. I mean, yeah, I've always maintained if the bridge ain't right and the nut ain't right, it ain't gonna play in tune no matter what tuners you have on it. So I just like I said, I think people are too quick to people are real quick to jump and say, oh, the tuners are bad, when really it's the nut that needs a little bit of work. I mean, this nut needed a little work when I got it, and I expected that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you play guitar, especially this time of year where you got pretty radical changes in the weather, it might go from sunny one minute to rain the next, which the humidity's just doing this up and down thing. I mean, it's going to change. The wood's going to move, things are going to change, and you're going to have to do a little bit of tuning. But at the same time, like I said, when I bought this thing, I knew, I just already knew that I might have to do a little bit of work on the nut, and it took me 30 seconds worth of just filing out the nut slots, just a few minutes, and it's been great. Just needed to be cleaned out a little bit. But yeah, I don't have an issue with what are these? These are the Gibson branded deluxe tuners. Yeah, Gibson deluxe tuners. The single ring double line Clouson repros, I guess. If you guys don't know what that means, a little education night. So this is a ring. Sometimes you'll see two rings right here. No, I just basically just cleaned out the nut slot on a Mitch. I didn't really file anything. I've got a set of nut files. I just ran the nut files through the slots just to kind of clean them out and called it a day. Just made sure that they were round at the bottom and not. You want to make sure they're round at the bottom, right? Not a V. And that's all I did. I didn't really change the depth or anything. I just, like I said, about 5 seconds per string slot, just a couple back and forth, and it was fine. So back to our tuners. When you hear somebody say a single ring or double ring, this is a ring right here. So this is a single ring tuner. A double ring would have another ring below it. And then the lines are on the back of the tuner. I don't know how well this is going to show up in the camera, but you'll see these have two solid lines. Let's see if I may not have a good enough view on it. I don't know what you guys can see, but there's two solid lines. There's individual lines in between them, but a single ring, single line, there would be one single line of let's see if I can get it closer. Okay, see if it'll focus. Sorry, this is bad. But anyway, no, it's not going to show up on camera. No, it's not going to show up. But you'll see a bunch of little lines, and then there'll be two spaces that there aren't lines. That's a two line, or a one line would be a single line. And certain variants of that mean stuff to a lot of people. I don't remember the years that were that were single ring, no lines. There's some no lines. There's single ring, single line. They're repro Clousons, but yeah, well, they're Gibson branded Clousons, yes. Let's say we were gonna have some fun a few minutes ago. We're gonna play around with some amp stuff a little bit. So you guys want to hear the amp itself? So I'm gonna kill all my amp time. So this is just, I mean, it's obviously running through my pedal board, but I have all my pedals are off right now. So this is just a clean tone, straight clean. Right, a little bit of reverb, and the reverb's on the amp. Well, I say a little bit. We're about 5 on the reverb, and the reverb is on the amp. Oh, okay. So there's the clean channel. Here's the amp crunch channel. Right? Not bad. I've got it set pretty low gain. I'll go ahead and start raising the gain on it. So that was at like, that's at like 1.5 on the gain. So here's 3. We're not even in the gain channel, guys. This is just the crunch channel. So we're going up to 5. We'll take it on up a little bit. We're about 7 now. This is the IRT Studio, Will. Now do keep in mind I am playing through P90, so they're a little noisy. So I'm sorry about the extra noise. No, Laney, Rock and Roll Guitar Lounge. Here you go. Sorry, you're upside down. Woo. Here, I'll kill that for the moment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the noise. Yep, it's the Ironheart. You can kind of see how I have it set. At least the way this thing's set up and running through my interface, and yeah, it's a rack style. Yeah, all tube too. But you can see it's how it's set up and how I'm running it through. It's got a lot of low end, so I have to pull out most. You can see where the bass controls are. They're almost non-existent. But this thing, guys, this thing's pretty cool. Don't need speakers, Gussie. It's got a built-in load box. It's running. It's running on the left side of my Scarlett right there. And then, of course, there's the microphone. Yep, right in her face, R2. You got it, buddy. You know it. Let's see how that works. That's good enough, huh? No, I actually don't own any cabs. The only cab I own is my my Lionheart, but it's a combo. The lane I bought it at GC, and it was an open box. I paid $3.99 for it. They're brand new $6.99, and it was in a Laney box, in the original box when it showed up. There's one little scratch on the top of it, which I could care less, right? It does have IRs, IRT, Gussie. So anyway, we'll go back to the amp, and I'll blow you guys' ears out with the noise from the P90s. So we were about 7 on the gain, and again, we're still in the crunch channel. We're not in the lead channel yet. So we'll take it on all the way up. Oh, and that was in the middle position. I'm sorry. So that's the gain. That's the gain all the way up on the crunch channel. That's where I like it. All right, now we'll go into the lead channel. Here, we'll start. Oh, one thing I didn't do, I didn't throw in the boost, and it does have a boost on it as well. Where are you gonna go? Oh. Okay, here we go. Here come the boost. The boost is subtle, so I'll start with a boost at 5. So that's got the boost. So no boost. Boost. So it's got it's like I said, it's on 5, and it's subtle. I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe you guys can tell me if it's just enough. Okay. All right. So now we'll go into the gain channel, and I'm gonna start with the gain on about 1. Here we go. So we're in the gain channel. Gain's on about 1. Not bad. We'll take it on up to about 3. Now we'll go on up to about 5. And it's starting to get pretty saturated at 5. Alright, we'll take it on up to about 7. It's gonna be bad. So that was on about 7. Oh, wait a minute. That was on 5 again. I'm sorry. We're gonna go up to 7 now. And it's getting super saturated. Alright, we'll take it on up to, well, we'll just jack it all the way up. This is wide open gain, guys. And it's pretty gets pretty saturated when you get up there. Oh, I didn't turn the boost on. Thanks, Dave. And we're back to clean. Woo! Well, I'll be honest with you, man. That's a tough question because, you know, as us guys that have lived with amps and pedals all of our lives, you know, as we get older and kind of start to fade away, these younger guys that came up with, you know, that came up with modeling and IRs and, you know, all the digital stuff, you know, as they take over, yeah, I think amps will slowly fade away. And that's right, Gussie. That's right. It'll become more the taboo rather than the norm. Because I mean, like right now, you know, tube amps and pedals are just kind of the norm. You know, it's a lot of us are still out there, you know, running our tube amps and our big pedal boards and, you know, that kind of thing. But I tell you, I was really interested in what Eric's video was going to be tonight, his live stream, or earlier this afternoon, and evidently he had some internet issues. But I'm kind of interested in that because, that's kind of the way things are going. And they're getting better. Every generation is getting better than the previous generation, right? I don't think anybody can deny that. If you're worth your salt, you can see pretty plainly that they're not going to go anywhere. Yeah, and you're right, Dave. The processors, they're good, but man, when you try to get that tone, that amp and pedal tone, they just kind of fall. They just kind of fall a little bit flat. Yeah, you're right, Gussie. I did. I mean, simplistic. If you look at it from a simplistic standpoint, oh look, I can just plug into this and, bam, it's there, and I can have 100 presets set up, so I can just I can I want this to I want to find a tone for Young Lust, or I want to find whatever. It's right there at my fingertips, or my tips of my toes. Where I might have to click on 2 or 3 pedals and to get that same thing. Well, Will, I don't have that issue. I'm not in a band, so yeah, but I totally agree with you. From a traveling standpoint, those things are, guy walks in with 2 cases. He walks in with a Helix or a Headrush or whatever case, and he walks in with his guitar. He plugs into the PA, and he's ready to go. Soundman does the mix, and boom, he's off and running. He's not carrying in, a 70-pound head and a 150-pound cabinet, or 2 cabinets, or that would get dude, that would get old in a hurry. Dave can probably attest to that. But yeah, I mean, and Dave's got a good point. It's whatever works for you. But no, I totally agree, Will. No excessive gear, but these guys, especially nowadays, these guys they're dialing in good enough tone where, and to be honest with yourself, do you think that, and this is where I have a problem. I mean, dude, we're all a bunch of guitar players, right? So, I can listen to Dave, or I can listen to R2, or or Hack, or any of those guys, and I say, man, that they got, that dude's got a good tone, man. That sounds really good. It's close enough. It fits the song. It sounds really good. We all do that, right? And but 99% of the other people out there, they don't care. As long as you're even close in the ballpark, they don't care. If you've got a little too much gain on it, they don't care. That's for us. Or if it sounds like a tube, or if it sounds like a solid state, they can't tell you the difference. Exactly, Landon. Long as you're rocking, they don't care. And that's where the whole tone chasing thing, comes into a lot. And I have my views on it, and I'm guilty. I love to chase tone. You think I don't? You guys have seen my pedal board. 1, 2, 3. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 or 12 pedals on my board. I mean, you don't think I like to chase tone? Come on, guys. But I'm with you, Gussie. I'm a tube guy through and through. I mean, there's just something about that. Just digging in and still getting that little bit of breakup. Kind of a thing, or you get that just the responsiveness of tubes. Right? And you don't get that. It's getting better, but it's still not quite there yet. But yeah, not 90% of what we play, and I'm speaking for myself. You guys can agree with me or not. That's cool. But 90% of what we play is in tone is for ourselves and for other guitar players. Ooh, JTM 45 landing. Ooh hoo hoo. Nice. 61 Bassman. Oh. That was the first. I don't remember what year it was, Gussie, but that was the first tube amp I ever played was through a Bassman head. That was cool, man. Chasing tone and tail. Good one, Will. I like that. Yeah, Dave, you're right. Everything is trying to emulate tubes, and like I said, they're getting close. They're getting there. It's still it's still 3 or 4 generations off to really really nail it, but man, it's getting close. And like the Kempers, and when I bought this Laney, before I settled on buying it, I was really really looking hard at a Kemper, because it's like, dude, you got a Kemper, you've got every amp in the entire world, right? I mean, any amp you want in the world, there's a profile for it. You want a Dumble, there's a profile for it. You want a Dr. Z, there's a profile for it. You want a Bassman, you want a, you name it. You want one of the old Sun amps, there's a profile for it. And they sound close enough, right? They sound pretty darn close. They're not exact, but then again, you're going to have a variance from one amp to the next. So who's to say it's not exact? So, yeah, those old Suns, man. If you can find those, I mean, they're so expensive now. But if you can find one, those things are fantastic. Fantastic amps. Fender actually owns Sun amps, but they've shelved the brand. That is correct. I'm trying to remember. I think they bought them. I think that's right. I think they bought them in the 50s or 60s, Gussie. I think that's right. Because Sun was before, right? They were independent before then. I think Fender, because Sun was. I'm trying to remember. Sun was like Fender's biggest competitor at the time, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And then Fender ended up buying Sun, and Sun pretty much went away. Landon, I like Vox. I like Vox too. My Lionheart that's over in the corner, on the gain channel, sounds really, really, really Voxy. And I say gain channel, and I'm saying that very loosely because it's really really a crunch channel. But yeah. Yeah, I like Vox. That's why I like that Lionheart so much. I wish they did a Lionheart studio that didn't cost $1,000 or $1,200. Mitch, I'm talking about the old Sun amps. I'm talking about the back in the 60s before Fender bought. Fender did do some runs of Sun after they bought them, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going off a lot of memory here, and I've heard a lot of stuff over the years. So, but Fender did do a couple runs of Suns, but. Yeah, okay, so they did reissue the Sun. But it wasn't anything what it was back before the acquisition. Oh, this would have been 50s and 60s, Mitch, when Sun, and it was SUNN. I believe was how it was being spelled. They were American. Yeah, there you go. Is that the same? Is that the same one, Gussie? I thought Fender bought them a lot earlier than that. Okay, then I was completely wrong. Yeah, some of those old Supros are good. Even the new ones are rock and roll. The new Supros sound really good. They're expensive though. You're gonna pay through the nose for them. Okay, thanks, Gussie. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, so the 60s, the Sun Holmes. Yeah. Did you get to play it, rock and roll? Okay, Gussie, cool. Yeah, Landon, there's so many. Yeah. I hear you. Who was it? Well, you guys know Josh. I don't know if you guys watch his channel, JHS. Josh, is it Smith? Anyway, whatever. Josh, talk about having some amps. Him and his Softex. Holy God. He's got a wall of Softex. And I mean a wall. Not a little one, a big one. And that's crazy. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. I know it's late, but Dave and Landon, Rock and Roll, Gussie, Mitch still hanging in there with us, and I don't know who else is. Landon, Will, I think still hanging in there with us. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Landon, wall of purple Marshalls. As long as they're either JTM 45s or I'd even take JMPs. Yeah, I feel you, Dave. I'm starting to I'm starting to get tired. I'm starting to lean back. You know when Dave leans back, it's sleeping only a concept. Yeah. Yeah, I usually make the comment of, I can sleep when I'm dead. I'm sorry, guys. Whew. Dude, I hear you, Dave. It's what, 11:30. It's 11:30 in my world, and I'm sitting here going, "Oh my God, I'm so tired." That's awesome, Gussie. I thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. And dude, I enjoy this. I enjoy it immensely. So, like I tell you guys every night, I'm just here to have fun, hang out, and hey, that's a good thing, Will. That's a good thing. Keep that in mind, right? Oh, they're gonna end up putting me in a furnace before it's all said and done anyway. So I guess I won't be showing up for mine either. Gussie. I tell you guys, I'm shocked I'm still here. So, and I always had that. I always had that mentality when I was a kid. Well, I'll never see 25. I'll never see 25. I hit 25. I'm like, what? Damn it! I made it. Now what? So I feel like I'm just on borrowed time at this point. So, hey, it's all good, I guess. All right, Dave. Take care, man. You have yourself an amazing night. Sleep well, brother. I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging in there, man. Take care, brother. It's not even gonna work, is it? I forgot I lost it. Drinking chat. Okay. All right. All right. I can do that. I can definitely do that. Let's kill that thing. Java pot's empty. Uh-oh. That don't bode well, Gussie. Oh, I'm gonna take these headphones off. Whew. Oh, man. Yeah, it is, man. It's a good one. My play in the night's just kind of suffering. So 1985, 86. A buddy of mine had moved out, or by 1984, a buddy of mine had moved out to California. I was born and raised in North Carolina, and so a friend of mine moved out to California, and he and his family moved back. So this was they moved back in about 85, 86. And while he was out in California, he discovered this little band. And I went over to his house, and he says, "Hey man, you should check this out." And he's got a Walkman, and I'm like, "Man, what is that? This thing is cool, right?" And he pops this tape in there, and it was Y&T, and I'm like, "All right, that's all right." He's like, "Okay, check this other one out." He pops this tape in, and I hear the most glorious sound come through those headphones, and it was Motley Crue's Theater of Pain. And I said to myself, whatever that is, I want to do it. And it kind of, it started the stirrings. And then a couple years later, so in '87, of course, by this time, Motley Crue. So by this time, Girls had come out, and so had Ozzy Randy Tribute and a couple other good albums. And of course, I had discovered MTV by this point in time. So, you got Poison, you got Whitesnake, you got, Kiss making their comeback with Crazy Nights, and you got all these bands. And I said, my God, I want to learn how to do that. That's cool. I want to get chicks. I was kind of, I wasn't a good-looking kid or a great-looking kid. So I was like, well, I got to do something that sets me apart from everybody else. Yeah. Dude, Crazy Nights was actually a cool... Dude, but it's Bruce Kulick, all right? Bruce Kulick is a monster. He's the best guitar player that they've ever had in that band, if you want my honest opinion. But the Kulick years were good years, man. At least I think. My opinion. I mean, you got killer tunes like Domino, and you listen to the guitar work on that song, that's a cool tune. I mean, it might be Kiss, but dude, that's a cool tune. Bruce is really good. So anyway, it's 1987. I go to my parents and I say, I want to learn to play guitar. And they're like, well, you quit playing piano, because I played piano several years earlier and I didn't enjoy it. And I'd played clarinet, and I'd played trombone in the school band. No, I wasn't exactly a band geek, but anyway, so I was like, no, I want to learn how to play guitar. And my old man looks at me and he says, well, you got to learn on what we got. And he had this old 70s Japanese Norland Epiphone. And action was probably, retarded. It was, 3/8 off the neck at the 7th fret. So, there you go, Landon. That's cool. Mitch, there you go. Hey, I learned to play that before I learned to play guitar. Played the radio real well. But anyway, so my old man tells me I'm going to learn on acoustic first, and so I started taking lessons from the music teacher that was at my school. And dude, I was in a really tiny school. It was a public school, but we only had 18 kids in our class. So it was really small. So that's how I got started. So I trace it back to Theater of Pain, and listening to Louder Than Hell and Smoking in the Boys' Room, Use It or Lose It. A lot of people hate that album, but I actually like it. That's one of my favorite Motley Crue albums. I guess it's because that was the first one I ever heard. And I actually wore out 2 of them because I listened to them. So another little fun fact about Dave, that was the very first tape I ever bought. Only AM radio. There you go, Will. Well, you've been around a little longer than I have, so. And that's understandable, man. I remember I had a few friends of mine that parents still had cars with only AM radios. Yeah. I mean, in really and truthfully, oh, that's awesome, Will. That is awesome. Well, Jimmy died in what, 70 or 70? Was it 70 or 71? Or 72? I don't remember. I can't remember. I know it was right around in that time, early 70s. Yeah, so it was 70. That's what I thought. I thought it was 70. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mitch, I mean, when I was a kid, growing up, and like I said, I was born in the mid 70s. I'm not that old, but at the same time, we had four TV stations. We had ABC, CBS, NBC, and we had public TV. So we had four channels. PBS. Thank you, Mitch. PBS. We had PBS. I had four channels growing up until I was, I don't know, 13, when we finally got cable. Shot at the Devil's a good one too. Rock and roll. And, well, I mean, I like all their albums personally. I'm not a. I like stuff from every one of their albums. Oh, now that's cool, Will. That's super cool. Yeah, after school specials. Yep. And 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 who else remembers Schoolhouse Rock on Saturday mornings? Anybody remember Schoolhouse Rock? Yeah, I got you. And who remembers Saturday morning cartoons? Dude, they don't even do Saturday morning cartoons anymore. They haven't in years. Sad. That used to be the ritual, man. You get up early on Saturday morning. We'll remember Schoolhouse Rock. Okay. All right. I used to get up on Saturday morning. Speed Racer. There you go, Landon. Speed Racer. Yeah. Rock and Roll Guitar Lounge remembers Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah. You used to get up on Saturday morning and go plop your butt in front of the TV for like 3 hours watching cartoons, 3 or 4 hours watching cartoons. And then it was great because where I grew up, then wrestling came on. Yes, sir. Looney Tunes. Now you're speaking my language. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Family Guy as much as the next person does. But it's not appropriate for kids. I mean, we had great cartoons growing up. Scooby-Doo and dude, I'm gonna have to check that out. Casper, yeah, Casper, and of course He-Man and Transformers and oh well, I've been a wrestling fan ever since I was a little kid. Pretty much the golden age of wrestling. And before you even ask, I was born and raised in North Carolina, so I am absolutely an NWA / WCW. I was exposed to Thundercats, Voltron, exactly. Yeah, you know it. So I mean, I grew up watching. I grew up watching Flair. I grew up watching Dusty Rhodes and the Legion of Doom and uh, all those guys. So those guys were, you know, I remember the first time I saw Sting on TV. So yeah, those guys, those were the guys that I watched. We didn't get, like I said, we didn't get cable, so there was no WWF on. Johnny Bravo was a riot, dude. So there was no WWF on my TV. Right, we couldn't get it. So it was NWA, you know, or nothing. So it was NWA. Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo was great. Ren and Stimpy. Jack Evans. When was that, Will? Knight Rider. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. Because now you got to remember also that this was around. I remember Wahoo McDaniels. I remember. I remember. Oh God, what was it? Paul Jones, and the Assassins, and um, Ronnie Garvin and Jimmy Garvin. Okay, 70s to 80. Okay, so he might have been gone by the time I remember watching. The name sounds familiar, but I can't put a place on it. Midnight Special. Oh man, I've seen some reruns of those. Will or Mitch? I'm sorry. So your brother was Dynamite Jack Evans, huh? That's awesome, dude. That is freaking awesome. Dusty was like my hero for a long time. I love Dusty Rhodes. That is cool, man. That is just like cool as a cucumber, dude. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I was back then too, back I guess that would have been mid 80s, Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Express and those guys. Yeah. That was my jam back then. I'm gonna have to look your brother up, dude. I do remember Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to check that out, man. Bruno Sammartino in the '60s. Wow. Yeah, he was around for a long time. Oh, no kidding. Buddy Rogers and Steve Stanley and Harley. That's cool, man. Beat Street. Beat Street. Yeah. Oh, man. You guys are bringing back some memories. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember the movie Beat Street? I think that's what you're talking about, rock and roll. It was called Beat Street. Okay, there's two Dynamite Jack Evans. Okay. Yes, it was a breakdancer movie. Oh, that's cool, Will. Andre. Yeah, it was it yeah, rock and roll it was called Beat Street. Exactly like that. I'm pretty sure is what it was called. Yeah, Beat Street, the movie. And yes, I saw that in the theater when I was a kid. I'm ashamed to admit that. I'm almost really ashamed to admit that. Whipper Billy Watson. I don't, Gussie. Classy Freddie Blassie. Oh man, that's cool, Will. Yeah, I'll have to. I'll definitely have to check him out. Whipper Billy Watson. Yeah, no, that one doesn't ring a bell, man. Gussie. I mean, obviously, we knew who the Hearts were. You know, um, obviously the biggest thing, um, probably one of the biggest families in the business from Canada. Stu Hart, and of course Brett and Owen, and family. And I say family because the whole family was somehow entwined. I think Vince Senior bought the, what was it, the WWWF from Stu Hart, or no, it was called Stampede back in the, that would have been probably back in the 70s. Stampede Wrestling. Leave It to Beaver. Yeah. Yeah. Starring Hugh Billingsley. Or Barbara Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont, Jerry Mathers, and oh no, is Tony Dow and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver. That took a lot of brain cells, guys. Yeah, I agree, Will. I totally agree. Junior, Junior's, how shall I put this? Shrewd. I mean, now, to be fair, Senior wasn't. Senior kind of, was it Senior that bought Stampede out from Stu? I think it was. No, it was Junior, because he pretty much just kind of swindled it out from under Stu. Oh man, rock and roll. I watched that show so much because I'd watch it. I'd watch it on was it TBS that it came on for quite a few years in the afternoon, and I'd watch it. No, a liar. Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Vince did some underhanded things, man. That's true, Gussie. Vince did some really underhanded stuff. He really screwed over the NWA, the whole thing, because you know every every region they had their own little thing, and you had the basically the governing body was the NWA was the governing body of all the regions, and yeah, he did some underhanded things, man. That's for sure. Yes, Gussie, hockey is king in Canada. I forget, man. I forget. I forget. Oh, guys, it's midnight. I've been going for about almost 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. But again, I appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting and listening to me play really badly tonight. But I do enjoy hanging out with you guys. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, Landon, Will, Gussie, Mitch, if you're still hanging with us, Rock and Roll Guitar Lounge. God, I know I'm gonna miss somebody. Man, you guys. Yes, I do remember the Fabulous Moolah. Um, Landon, yeah. You guys have an awesome night. And again, I really appreciate you guys. And y'all take care. I will catch you guys probably Thursday or Friday. I don't know. I don't know what time I get home on Thursday yet, but I'll probably catch you guys. If not, then it'll probably be maybe next Sunday. But anyway, guys, until then, take care, bend them strings, and have fun. Be good at it. Take care of yourselves, guys. Have a good night.